Okay guys, welcome to my next video. This video is kind of a PSA type video. This particular one I'm making right now. As you guys know, I recently built a new computer, and part of the thinking behind building the new computer was that my old computer was still viable. It was still very viable parts. Somebody wanted to build a budget gaming system or something like that. They were still very useful, sought after parts. There was nothing wrong with them or anything like that. The idea behind building the new computer is I did some quick calculations. I thought that I could get X amount for my old parts and put that towards the new parts, and I wouldn't be out very much money. It would be kind of just a little bit of an out-of-pocket cost kind of thing, just small amount of money. And I've done this kind of thing before in the past years. I've using eBay. eBay's been like my go-to thing. I don't sell things on eBay often, but I've been a member on eBay since the beginning, since 2000. You go to my profile and it says, member since 2000. So been doing eBay for a long time. Sold a lot of stuff on eBay, and I stopped using eBay because it became more of a commercial type thing, where people were just, it basically became like an Amazon marketplace as opposed to a virtual garage sale kind of thing, and that's what I like. I like looking for gems, looking for, things that people don't want anymore. They don't really know what they have or whatever. Sometimes you can really score a deal. Those days are kind of gone on eBay, and that's why I kind of drifted away from eBay. I'll buy some odds and ends on eBay from time to time, but basically I stopped using eBay because of problems as far as selling goes. I stopped using eBay probably a good 4 years ago because of the problems I kept having with bidders, and back then it was more of a non-paying bidder problem. It was just constant. You'd get charged a fee when somebody wouldn't pay, and then it was just a big hassle, and I just felt like it wasn't worth it. And especially since all these other services kept popping up, Facebook Marketplace, and then you had like OfferUp. I'm a real big fan of OfferUp. I like that. But selling stuff locally became way more appealing to me, so I stopped using eBay. They since started sending me these emails. Hey, free listings. You don't have to pay for the listing. Yada yada. Come try it again. Blah 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 blah. So this was an opportunity to where I was going to go, I'll just sell my old computer parts on eBay and I'll get all my money back, kind of thing. So that went horribly bad. I just want to tell you my story, and I want to keep kind of the emotion out of it because I'm super pissed off about it. I mean, in the relative grand scheme of things, I didn't get raked over the coals too awful bad. I'm still really upset because there are some real bags of crap out there in the world. And they're preying on any kind of loophole in any system that they can find. And let me just tell you what happened. I placed my old video card and an older motherboard that I had, an FX motherboard that I had brand new in the box that I never used. I never built the computer. A guy wanted me to build him a computer, and I scored a deal on this motherboard, and he never came through with the rest of the money to build the computer. So I had this FX motherboard, same motherboard that was in my wife's computer for a long time. So I sold that and the video card. First auction, nobody bids on the video card, and it just doesn't sell. And then a guy contacts me and goes, hey, is this still available? Will you take $50 for it? And as you guys know, it was a HD 7970, Radeon 7970. So I figured in my calculations, it was worth about $100. That was kind of, what I was thinking, but that was without doing any research at all. This here is the message that I got outside of the auction. So basically, let me explain this to you, those of you that never used eBay, is that this guy is trying to get me to sell him this card on the side. This is what this is. But my auction was set to auto relist. As soon as the auction ended, eBay immediately relisted it automatically. So there was no selling it on the side kind of thing. So I sent him a message telling him that. And then on the next auction, after they relisted it, he offered $50 for it. They've got this new feature now where you can offer just an offer and a guy can take it, kind of thing. Probably trying to compete with, those other services like OfferUp and stuff like that. So I was like, well, okay, because then I can just be done with this. It's over with, blah, blah. I can just sell this real quick. So I accept this, and then that. So I think. So I pack it up and I ship it to this dude. 10 days later, it's not about 10 days later. It is 10 days later. I get this message out of the blue. Hi, the GPU isn't working in my machine. It stutters and isn't usable. Please advise. Like, I sold him tech support. Like, I sold him a video card, but along with that, he gets free tech support. And I'm just not having that. First of all, I put in the auction that there were no refunds. That I thoroughly tested the card. It came out of a working machine. It for sure works. There's nothing wrong with it. I gamed on it for 4 hours. I put all that in the description. So there wasn't any refund offered. So I thought I'm totally in the right here. Or, that's just the way it used to work, So there's no refunds offered. It says that in the auction. So I think I'm good. So so my response is it's just this. The card was fully tested before I sold it. All tests documented. If it isn't working for you, maybe just resell it, is kind of what I said. Then I get the next message. It doesn't work. And I know pretty much what the deal is. This guy probably put this card in some HP or like some Dell or something, and it doesn't have a power supply powerful enough to power this card. This card takes almost 300 watts to power it by itself. I mean, it's a power hungry card. So I'm pretty sure that's what the problem is. That's generally speaking what the issue normally is in a situation like this. Or the CPU is not powerful enough for the video card. The video card is waiting for the processor to send the frames to the video card. So one of the two is usually what causes stuttering. So the next one is, I responded with this right here. These are I tried to get these in order, but they're a little out of order because I was responding on my phone and the computer both. So the computer has my computer responses, but not the ones from my phone. So I'm trying to piece this together. So my response was when he said, it doesn't work. I said, you can try anything you want. Basically said, I'm going to get some new RAM. I'm going to get some new memory and see if that fixes the problem. And I would go, well, you can try anything you want. There are no returns offered on this 7-year-old niche PC part, right? Seems reasonable. And he goes, I wouldn't have purchased a 7-year-old GPU. And that's like saying, you bought a Buick Grand National and you're upset that the thing is, 25, 30 years old or whatever it is. The car is made 1997, 1996. I mean, you got to know what you're buying. I mean, you have to have some sort of responsibility to know what you're purchasing. So, I mean, that's just an unbelievable. I don't know how to take this kind of stuff, So, it's just, wow, okay, so. And basically, that's what this says. He responded, I wouldn't have purchased a 7-year-old GPU. That should have been stated. I should have stated. Oh, my God. Okay. And then he, basically, I'm going like, Look, I responded with, I didn't offer you tech support. I sold you a video card, a niche video card that a collector might want. And I didn't offer any tech support. That's not what I was offering in my auction. So then he sends this, your GPU was advertised as working. I've changed out the RAM in my computer. That just shows this guy has no clue what he's doing. This is a guy who bought a video card. And I'm taking him at his word. He could just be a, total shyster. But this is a guy that bought a PC part and had no clue what he was doing. Not a clue one. Or I just keep saying him, but it could be a female. Looking at the username now that I'm noticing that. So anyway, this person, I should say. So basically, they bought something that they didn't have the skill to use. So then initiate a return, even after, like, why is that even allowed? Like, I was like, holy smokes, there's no returns allowed on this, and eBay is allowing them to initiate a return or whatever. And I'm like, and we're supposed to be waiting during this time to work it out ourselves, or eBay will step in. There's a threat that if I don't work it out, blah, blah, in the emails, if I don't work it out, it'll count against me if they decide, for the buyer, blah, blah, blah. So that's where we're at here. So the reason the car is being returned, it doesn't work. You left details out of your listing. You can't be reasonable. Please stop messaging me. Your feelings and other nonsense. I'll leave this transaction to eBay. And I'm like, okay. Fine with me. Meanwhile, while this is all going on, I didn't realize, silently in the background, eBay has frozen the money that I was paid to PayPal. PayPal has now frozen this payment. But there's no notification of that. I only go to PayPal for something else, and then I see that this payment is frozen, okay? Basically, I think that I'm totally in the right here. And I'm not worried about it. Another couple days goes by, and I'm at work, and I just quickly Google this situation, because I'm thinking this is going to make a good YouTube video, this situation. But I was wrong. I typed a quick search into YouTube and found out there are thousands of videos about this thing that happens to people who sell things on eBay. eBay sides with the buyer 99% of the time, and then I found that out. I found that out the hard way, once I started doing the research. And seriously, there are thousands of videos like this. I watched a video where a guy got sent an empty box in his return. He accepted the return came back, and the box was empty. eBay still sided with the buyer, even though they sent back an empty box. Unbelievable. So when I see that, and then I find out if eBay sides with the buyer, which they will, they 99% of the time they do, they get to keep your item, and you get a bad mark against your record, which at this point I totally don't care. I'm done with eBay. If you haven't figured that out yet, been on eBay since 2000. I'm one of the founding members on eBay. Been there for so many years, and now I'm done with eBay. I'm going to close my account as soon as this is all done. But come to find out that this is a thing. That eBay does this to people. So this is a common scam where buyers buy something and they just return it, and you have to pay for shipping back. So basically what ended up happening with this deal is I paid $30 to have my video card sent to this dude, or this person, I should say. Gotta be PC these days. So I sent it to this person. This person checked it out, finger banged it, whatever they did, tried it out for 10 days, and then sent it back I paid $30 for that. That's what I, so basically that's what ended up happening. $30 out of my pocket so somebody could play games with it and send it back. So that's what happened. Would you believe that after I got the card back, it works perfectly? I installed it in the wife's computer and ran all the benchmarks, and we played a couple hours of games on it. Card's back. It works perfect. There was nothing wrong with it. This person just didn't know what they were doing, and I paid $30 for that. And while all this is going on, right, the motherboard, remember the motherboard I was selling on eBay too? Check this out. I get this email out of the blue that there's a suspicious buyer. He was a suspicious buyer, and then all of his bids were canceled, basically. The thing is that this went through without a catch. This guy bought this motherboard. He paid for it immediately. I got paid for it, so I'm scrambling to go to PayPal. What does this email mean? And I still have the money. I don't know why in the world eBay would send out this email to a transaction that's already taken place. I mean, eBay's a mess, man. What has happened to eBay? And now recently PayPal has started not refunding people charges for refunds. I don't know what's going on. PayPal and eBay are the same company, by the way, for those of you that don't know. If you're wondering why I'm talking about PayPal and eBay, I don't know what's going on. It's crazy. It's crazy. They've gotten to where they're a monopoly. They don't mind screwing you for it. So anyway, that's my story. I'm done with eBay, and I hope this helps somebody. If you watch this and you're thinking about selling a used whatever on eBay, don't do it. Don't do it, man. It's not worth it. I had 2 auctions go up and 2 problems. So that's 100% problems. $15 out of my own pocket. No, $30 out of my own pocket. Plus the fees, by the way. I have $12 in fees, too, by the way. So the $30 plus the $12, I gave away the motherboard. Is what ended up happening. I ended up just listing my motherboard and just giving it to somebody. Is what that boiled down to. So don't do it. Public service announcement. I hope this helps somebody. Catch you on the next one.